Hello, pretty people, and this is week 2 of Oversplits challenge. So I'm going to start with 2 blocks on my good side. I'll do the one side and then I'll go ahead and do the other side again. That's pretty much how I will do it every one of these videos. And again, of course, make sure you're super warmed up. I don't think I was quite as warmed up as I could have been in this one, but we're going to go ahead and try it anyway. I'm feeling not too bad on my good side. We're gonna see a bit of a change on the other side though. um, so yeah, just make sure that you are engaging in your hip and hanging out wherever you feel it the deepest. If you ever feel any sharp pain or getting really numb, then just come on out of it. And play around with it and have fun. Try to bend that back leg, making sure you're still sinking into the hip. Just making sure you're breathing, and if you're ever stopping breathing while you're stretching, then come on out of it, and that's okay. Just try again, try a little bit lower, and if you can, let's flip the other side and try a little bit higher. Breathing in and breathing out as you sink down into the hip. Okay, so with each exhale, you're sinking a little bit further, relaxing a little bit further with each exhale, and gently come out of it. Let's try adding our third block. And my hip is starting to warm up quite nicely, so I think I'll be able to go a little bit further. Just make sure you're hanging out, allowing yourself to sink in with each exhale. Now I like to enter it this way from the side and then just flipping over into the oversplit. You can also go in through a lunge and then just sort of sneak your foot back until you're in the oversplit. Whatever's better for you. I like it better this way. Definitely starting to feel it now. You can see it in my face. But even if it hurts, I'm still going to hang out. Take as long of a break as you need before we try the other side, and let's go again with just the 2 blocks to start. And I'm coming in really gently on this side just because I feel a little bit tighter on that side. So just slowly working your way down, there's no need to rush. And here's where it's becoming quite the challenge on my bad side that has not been warmed up very well. So don't do what I did, make sure you're super warm. And add a block if you're ready. Now here's where I'm going in from the lunge. So I'm starting with the lunge with my foot on top of the block and then just popping my foot back out until I get into the oversplit. So whatever is easier for you, I find this is a little bit better if you're a little tighter, and the other entrance is better if you're a bit looser. I was feeling pretty good on my good side, so I thought I'd do an extra little bit of a challenge by flipping two of the blocks onto their higher side. And I'm using my hands to push my hips further towards the ground. Remember, you want your hips sinking towards the center line, as aligned as you can, and trying to get that hip to touch the ground. See if you can bring both forearms down onto the ground while still maintaining that middle line. And last one here, I'm going to try an oversplit on both sides. So I'm going to do 2 blocks on the front and 1 block on the back, and I'm going to tilt my hips in until I'm in an oversplit on both sides. Keeping in mind that your knee is flexed, you want your knee as protected as possible while your hips are sinking towards the ground. So keep that knee nice and straight. Coming out the same way that I came in by just rotating my hips down. I'm going to try it again on the longer side just for a tiny little bit more of a lift. And it would be a lot better if I could keep my blocks steady, but this is the best we're going to do today. Remember, you're going to feel most of the stretch in that back hip joint, so just make sure that that back hip joint is super warm before you attempt to lift the back leg, because it's really easy to pull that muscle, the hip flexor. So just make sure it's strong and warm, especially if you're going to be bouncing in the hip. Inhale and exhale, sink to the ground. And exhale again. Exhale and sink.